It's indeed my pleasure and I think my privilege. Whenever you interact with a group like, whenever I interact with a group like you, I think I'm able to dip back into my source of energy. I'm able to dip back into my source of inspiration. And I'm able to dip back into my source of learning because the topic and the way the invitation came to me, it was tremendous. I mean, you're talking of Bhavishya, you're talking of adaptability, you're talking of resilience. So it's a very well thought out theme. And listening to most of you, I felt even more energized. So thank you for thinking of me. Thank you for inviting me. So I was also told that I can talk for about 10 minutes or so, and very excited to exchange with you some of my ideas. In my invitation, I was told that you'd like me to speak on effect estalpa, which means the chameleon effect, which was already introduced by Elsa. The basic idea is adaptability and flexibility to unforeseen situations. And especially you'd like me to touch about the field of HR and OD. And to me, as I'm listening to you guys and I see you holding this webinar and this whole investiture ceremony virtually, this itself is a tremendous sign of flexibility and adaptability on your part. So you did not sit back and thought, well, we can't meet in person, so let's not have this function. And so big kudos to all of you, the student community, for showing this adaptability and for listening to your talpa. So before I get into the topic of resilient HR, let me reflect on resilient people. Let me reflect then on resilient organizations, and then I'll have a few words about resilient HR, leaving you some time for your questions also. I was looking back and thinking about some of the resilient people I have met, and I would encourage that after this ceremony, after this program is over for you, you also sit back and think about some resilient people, adaptable people you have met in your life. And if you just picture them, they are the people that seem to have boundless energies. They're always hungry to do more, unstoppable under any circumstance, and they keep bouncing back again and again from the lows and dips that they face, from the uncertainties that they face. So I was trying to think, what is it that's common in these people? What are some of the traits and some of the competencies, these resilient people that I have come across in my life? What are the common things they exhibit? First and foremost, every single one of them is highly networked, constantly connected to their friends, families, their stakeholders, their customers, their alma mater, you name it. Their network is so strong and they're always investing in their network. This continuous communication gives them so much of information and so much of intelligence. They keep bouncing their ideas, they keep collecting their ideas, they keep validating, they laugh, they relax, and they gain tremendous confidence to face uncertainties and predict changes which the uncertainties brings with them. So first, highly networked, highly communicative people, and lots of information at their disposal because of their network. Second, they're continuously looking at possibilities and opportunities. What can we do different? What can we do more of? How do we overcome this uncertainty? They know that business as usual will not work in the face of uncertainty. So what can be done differently? And they innovate and they improvise. I just give you a small example, which most of you might be knowing about this daycare center called Amelio. We had tied up with them for our own young parents in our organization in FLSmidth. And we allow our people to take their children to Amelio. It's a beautiful daycare. And when COVID struck and then lockdown struck, naturally, they could not offer the facilities to the parents. Parents were not bringing their children. So very quickly, they adapted to another way of connecting with the children and parents. They created an e-platform to engage the children. And this way, the working parents got the time to work on their professional work while their children were engaged by a milio long distance. So they think of these ideas, they never say die. They're constantly evolving. Thirdly, they have tremendous amount of confidence. And where does this confidence come from? Confidence is not something, I mean, we are all born with it, but with all the inputs we get, with all the signals we get from outside, sometimes our confidence starts wavering. But it's possible to work on the confidence, possible to create that confidence. And how do these resilient people that I know of, where does their confidence come from? First of all, if they have an idea, they get themselves a sponsor. They keep working till they have a sponsor, till they have a mentor who is willing to look at their idea and endorse it. So it could be their parent, it could be their manager, it could be a member of their board, it could be somebody who's saying, you have the permission to go ahead and pursue your idea. So first is permission of an idea, which gives them confidence. Second, the community. Now, I already said these people are highly networked. So they validate their ideas. This is my idea. I have a permission to work on it. And now can I go ahead? This is how I'm thinking about it. Do you see any loopholes? Do you see any failure mode? So the community helps them further work on their idea. And then they have curiosity, constantly asking, why is something working? Why is something not working? What can I do differently? All these three, this potent mixture of permission to pursue the idea, community to validate their idea, and the curiosity to keep reinventing gives them tremendous amount of confidence. So networked, looking at innovating, looking at possibilities, and tremendous amount of confidence. These are the hallmark of a resilient person. And I'm sure most of you will be able to tap on this network, which you have already, this 2022 people, which you are in this fraternity, build on it and ensure that you keep networking, that you are constantly in touch with each other. So what about resilient organization? What do resilient organizations, how are organizations resilient? How are the ones that survive in change and uncertainty? Again, they have 3 or 4 traits. First and foremost, when times are uncertain, when things are very unpredictable, they cut out all frills, fancy, and they focus on ensuring profitability. Only profitability. They only want to ensure that their bottom line is secure. So for that, they look at opportunities which bring them higher margins. They look at opportunities which do not cost them so much. They put away the projects which are long lead, and they put away projects which do not give them so much of margins. So that's the first thing that resilient organizations do. They start conserving their energy and they start focusing on things which will get them more cash. And second, they pursue, like I said, line of business that will enhance their profitability, and they stop all other projects. Third, they focus on cash to run the organization, because no institution, no borrowing institution gives out loans, etc. So the organizations start conserving cash. That's what resilient organizations do. Fourth, very importantly, they focus on their people, taking care of them, their well-being, their fears, their insecurity, how they can, in times of uncertainty, ensure that people are still productive and engaged. That's what they focus on, the resilient organizations. And then, of course, because there is so much of learning that happens during time of uncertainty and change, then resilient organizations reinvent processes and prepare themselves to be very lean and agile for the future. So these are the 5 things which resilient organizations do. So now I'll come to your key topic, which is the effective STALPA for HR, and especially the organization development function. So if I look at HR, I look at it as a triangle with a foundation. And the triangle is basically, first angle is the talent acquisition. You have all learned this, and all the things which are associated with talent acquisition, which is branding, which is employee value proposition creation, and onboarding of the employees into your organization. So that's the first angle of the triangle, HR triangle. The second angle is the talent management part, where you manage the life cycle of the employee once they're onboarded, whether it's rewards recognition, whether it's policies, whether it's career plans, etc. And the third one is the people development and organizational development angle, which sustains the organization, which keeps reinventing, helps the organization keep reinventing itself, keep reinventing its people, the competencies, etc. And it's exciting that you all are on that journey of organization development. So the foundation of this triangle is the employee relations, which includes industrial relations, classic industrial relations. So if I look at this kind of a triangle and the foundation, I believe that HR, the faculty of HR, the competence of HR, the involvement of HR has been called for like it has never been before. HR is the center of the organizations right now, because right now it's all about people. And so just to give you a few examples of how we reinvented, how did we support our business during this entire pandemic, which we are facing, which is like now almost more than 10 months or almost touching 10 months. So what we did was, first we ensured that the employees are correctly rehabilitated. Within a matter of hours, their home offices were set up, their computers, their laptops or desktops, whatever they were using, they were reached to their houses, network connections, everything was enabled for the employees so that they don't lose any time, and also they feel that they still belong to the organization. We announced the standard operating procedures. We announced how to take care of yourself, how to not worry so much, but really the principles of the standard operating procedure during this entire time. How do you go out? When do you go out? How do you not go out? When do you visit office? When you not visit office? All of those standard operating procedures were put in place. The office was made safe. Then we had to do manager training because our employees were now working from home. And it's very different when your employees are away from you than when they are in front of your eyes. And many managers suffer from a syndrome of micromanaging. And now they couldn't see their employees or they couldn't see what they were doing the entire day. So manager training on how do you manage your people remotely? How do you encourage? How many times do you do touching base with them? How do you not extend their hours? How do you hold meetings? All of that training had to be done very quickly. Employee welfare. Employees were worried for their health, the health of their dear ones, health of their helps, their drivers. So we offered 2 or 3 types we extended their insurance. We invested more on their insurance so that they had extra cover for COVID. We also made sure that they were able to buy at negotiated price more insurances in case they wanted to cover more people in their ecosystem. Most importantly, convincing our organization that flexi working and working from home is the new way of working. And pandemic or no, we will have to offer this flexibility to our employees. So we are going to release the policy on that. It has been signed off. It was led by HR. It has been signed off by our board and our executive management committee, that we can go ahead and we can roll out work from home even post-pandemic. So right now, of course, we don't have a choice. People are working from home. There's hardly 30-35% employees who are coming to office. But even after pandemic, we propose to continue working from home globally. So this was an exciting project which we did for our people. So this is from OD perspective. What you have to do in times of uncertainty is quickly start doing surveys, start connecting with people, same principles, network with people, run ideas, find the gaps, and start filling those gaps, start validating your ideas with top management, with whichever stakeholder, and start implementing things which will help business immediately and which will help the employees immediately. So this is how you reinvent in times of uncertainty, and this is how you adapt yourself. You put all your goals and your methods of working on hold, and you start adapting. For instance, we rolled out e-learning for all of our employees, and the learning hours spent by our employees shot up because e-learning is such a flexible way of learning. You don't have to be stuck in a classroom. You don't have to be sitting in a in front of a trainer, whether you like them or not. So e-learning suddenly increased our level of learning in the organization. So each of you have it in you to listen to your talpa, your alter ego, and never fear uncertainty, and allow yourself faith in your skills, your competence, your potential, the power of your mind. Whenever you are in doubt in times of change and uncertainty, think of the biggest achievement which made you the happiest ever, and reset your mindset to that time, and you will be able to achieve much more. Be fearless. I believe as long as there is sun, we are all safe. Plants grow, animals thrive. So why can't we as humans, as long as there is sun, as long as there is cosmos? And we just need this flexibility of, okay, if this is not working, let's get to this. This is not working, let's get to this. Just that confidence on yourself that you can feed yourself and you can clothe yourself. That's all you need. Rest all has to be about your passion. Be confident, and for that you need your network, you need your alma mater, you need all the friends you have made here, and that's your first network. Thrive on it and keep creating your network so that you're never afraid of uncertainty, and you look like one of those highly energized people as you step out into the professional world. Thank you so much.